Good evening and welcome to tonight's Finding Answers. This is a live show and I'm starting tonight's episode a little bit different than what we usually do because I have already from the start here our guest for tonight, Nadege. Good evening.
Good evening, Pastor.
Thanks for coming to the show, okay? Because Nadege's story has to do with something that unfortunately is very common to find in our society today. The topic for tonight is domestic violence. You were a victim of that.
Yes.
How long did that last, Nadege?
For 10 years I've been.
10 years.
Yeah.
That involved
Physical abuse, verbal abuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once you mentioned to me, because I know about your case for a while, even though it's the first time we had the opportunity to be here on live TV, that even the scars that you have, this is
from the reduction.
from the abuse.
Yeah.
Is it okay to show? I don't know.
Yeah,
You
sure,
just
yeah.
stay there.
Yeah.
I don't know if one camera could get a close shot. She bears the marks of what happened to her in the past. But listen, not even for a minute think that our approach will be a negative one. No, because she overcame. We brought here the true story of someone who went through it. I can only imagine that those 10 years must have been like hell to you, but you bounced back.
Yeah.
You overcame because this is no longer the situation. You are not an unhappy person.
No, I'm a happy person.
You are not a traumatized person. Actually, I know Nadege, right? And I've always seen you positive, always seen you happy. You are someone who helps other people today.
Yes.
So we're going to learn from her story how faith can help you. Is this something that is happening to you or to someone that you know? So why not send this person a text message and tell them to tune in to Finding Answers now. Once again, we are live here, and I want you in the meantime to also watch this other real life case, Crystal, someone that we are introducing tonight, her story, and also she did see results from the moment that she started to learn how to use the power of faith. You can also learn how to use this power and see results in your life. We'll be back after Crystal's story.
Well, my life before was an absolute mess. You know, before finding faith, I grew up in an environment that was very drug and crime related. So everything that I saw and the people that I dealt with, my mom, my family, were all heavily involved in that life. And it sort of was the only life that I knew. Even though that's not what I wanted, I knew that's never what the road that I wanted to take, but it was the only one I knew. The worst moment of my life, I could say, was when my mom started losing her clients, her contacts, and so consequently she started losing a lot of money. And it became so bad to the point where we couldn't even afford to buy milk. We were going to my grandma's house for food. It was disastrous, and I was not used to that. You know, I grew up being the girl that would always be after school buying everyone sweets because I had loads of money, you know. Money wasn't a problem for me then, but then at this point everything became scarce, no money for anything, so that was the lowest point. After finding faith, me, my mom and my sister, we really learned how to use it to advantage. So we used it to find like where my mom was really heavily reliant on the income of her criminal life and stuff like that. She learned how to use faith to get a job, to start the school, which she stopped so many years ago, and things started moving forward. She got a job, she got a really good job, she used her faith in that, and same with us, we used our faith in our careers in school, and then now it's a lot different. My life today is brilliant, you know, I have hope, I have prospects, I have a future, I'm getting married soon, I have a good job. I no longer rely on sort of the criminal activities of my family to support me. I'm supporting myself. And it's such a contrast and different to the life that I had before, where it was really criminal based, so much wrong and negativity, as opposed to today, really positive, moving forward and really looking forward to the future.
So you see, Crystal's story has to do with financial breakthrough, doing better choices. Faith helped her make better choices than most people in her family did in the past. And we could say, very basically, that our life consists on several main aspects. We could say finances, the health aspect, love life, marriage, family, and a relationship with God. Like the 5 fingers of our hands representing the 5 most important aspects of life. I didn't say them exactly in order of importance, but actually I would say having a relationship with God being the main one, since we are the creation and He is the creator. But how do we connect with God? We connect with God through faith. How do we actually do that? Well, little by little, we give to you some bits and pieces of information that help you how to connect with God through your faith. But coming again to our topic for tonight, which is domestic violence. And we are approaching it once again from the perspective of faith. How can someone actually get help through faith once going through these problems? And we have Lisa with us this evening. Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening.
So our topic tonight is, I would say, a very real one, something extremely bad, negative, and sad. But we have to speak about this. If we are to help people through finding answers, and that's exactly what we're here to do, we have to touch these subjects. Mm-hmm. There are viewers right now that to them this is a daily reality. As Nadege, it was a part of her life for 10 years. My goodness, I can only imagine. We'll speak to her soon. Mm-hmm. But I would like to, you have some information on tonight's subject, right?
Yes, I do. And we do want to help people on this program. And as you mentioned before, yes, relationships is a very big, important part of our lives, and especially with a partner in a domestic setting. But domestic violence is abuse of one partner in an intimate or family relationship. So it doesn't even have to be, with a spouse. It could be domestic abuse with regards to, a child, or, a child indeed with a parent. Mm-hmm. So it is repeated, random, or habitual to control a partner or someone else. So it can happen to anyone, and this is regardless of age, social background, gender, or religion. However, statistics do show that the vast majority of domestic violence is carried out by men and experienced by women. However, this also could be because a lot of men might not be speaking up about it. A lot of men, probably maybe because of male pride, whatsoever, what is expected from them from society, may not speak up a lot about, domestic abuse within a relationship. But what are the causes of this domestic violence? And domestic violence is caused by the abuser's desire for power and control. It stems from an imbalance of power between the sexes. A lot of people would blame alcohol, drugs, unemployment, or stress, or ill health to justify this domestic violence. Mm-hmm. However, these are only excuses. They're not justifications as to why you can abuse someone. It's no real excuse for that kind of behavior. Mm-hmm. So if you are being abused, please do remember, you are not to blame for being mistreated, and you are not the cause of your partner's abusive behavior. You and everyone else on this planet deserves a safe and happy life, and you are not alone, and people are here to help you. Such as on this program, we want to help you. We really do.
Yeah, and Lisa, we want to tell the viewer right away that no one should be putting up with any form of abuse. This is not something that people should tolerate. It's not okay. It's not something to be overlooked. This is a serious issue. There's people who even died, were killed because of this problem. So we are speaking about something very serious. So if this is happening to you, get help. Do get help. Do not think it's normal. Love never hurts. That's the truth. Even biblically speaking, God never said that we are to put up with abuse, because He doesn't abuse us. I mean, come on. God loves us. He values who we are. He doesn't say words. You're not going to find one word in the whole Bible coming from God to belittle man, to put us down. So God, He loves His creation. He loves us. He treats us with respect. So why would we put up with disrespect, with abuse? No, He doesn't want that to happen. He wants us to value ourselves. You know, our house should be an environment of peace, should be like a safe haven. You should feel safe in your house at all times. We all understand, Lisa, everyone goes through problems, right? Problems are part of life. But I mean, we have to find at home at least the safety, you know, to feel safe enough to have to deal with the problems outside or maybe even inside. But I mean, come on, in an abusive environment, that's not impossible.
Yes, as you mentioned, your house or your home should be your haven. You should go back and, you know, want to feel secure and safe within your family unit and even with your partner. However, there are more than 500,000 unreported cases estimated, not reported to the police. Mm-hmm. So it is a big, huge problem, mm-hmm. you know, and they're not being dealt with. A lot of people are staying within relationships, mm-hmm. and they don't feel that they do have the support. But there is support out there if you do seek for it. Absolutely.
And in finding answers, you can find spiritual support. You can find counseling. Actually, you can even book an appointment with one of the advisors for free. Even if you're not in London, if you are outside London, if you are in another country, there's people watching us via internet, from Ireland, from other countries. You can find a representative of Finding Answers, very likely close to where you are. All you need to do is to call this number, 0207-686-6300. You can start calling now. There are advisors who are here ready to take your call. Alternatively, if you want to share with us what's going on, if you want prayer, which, by the way, we're going to have Pastor Ade as a special guest also on the show. He's going to be having his participation towards the end. You can send us an email to help@findinganswers.tv. We're going to go to a break now, but please don't go anywhere, because the story of Nadege will inspire you, will show you that at some point we have to draw the line and say no more. No more abuse. I won't put up with this anymore. And turn to God, and God helps us. He helps you. He's not going to abandon you if you turn to Him. That's a given. We'll be right back.
If you're a single mother suffering from a troubled past, then don't lose hope. There's always someone you can turn to. We understand. With all the challenges of everyday life, the financial responsibility, and the pressure of being a single parent, life can be overwhelming at times. Single parents and their children can flourish, but without the right support, a family can fall apart. The Tamar Group is there for lone parents who need guidance, support, and encouragement to get them through their everyday battles. Whether it's a group discussion, a mother and child bonding session, or some personal advice, we are here for you. Everyone needs a helping hand at one point or another. Let us be yours. For more information on our meetings and where the nearest Tamar Group is to you, then visit our website uckg.org/Tamar or give us a call on 020 7686 6000.
Do the maths. Changing your life is not as simple as changing your hairstyle, your shirt, or rearranging the furniture in your living room. You're talking about years of deep-rooted habits, behaviours and problems that are not going to change overnight. Many may say, think positively, but the trouble with that is that you can't do or change anything with just thoughts. But add action into the equation and the outcome can be different. Let's do the maths. Positive thinking plus action equals a change. Whatever it is, if the change is significant, if it's worthwhile, then it will have to take time, effort, and homework from you.
Make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger.
My Channel TV, featuring a kaleidoscopic daily dose of programming. Stay with us every day and explore politics, economics, science, technology, lifestyle, culture, sports, and much more. We're here to amuse you, to keep you updated, and to keep you company. We're My Channel, your channel on Sky 203.
Pushing me for the rest of the week, so it's like a boost.
Things were really tight.
Today, the way I see myself is completely different.
Welcome back to Finding Answers, and remember, our topic for tonight is domestic violence. We have here a guest courageous enough to speak about her experience, bad one about that in the past, but also she's going to share how she was able to overcome this issue. And Lisa and I will be speaking to her. So Nadege, once again, welcome, okay? And describe to us, what was the domestic violence? How did everything begin? Tell us everything from the beginning.
Okay. In the beginning, because I was living with my auntie when I came to this country, so I met my ex-partner. So he came to my auntie, introduced himself, I want to get married to your daughter. So we was dating. The first day, first week when I was dating, I realized he's trying to slap me. So I didn't see that like a problem. I just accepted.
When was that? On the first?
On the first week.
First week?
The first week when we just started
And you didn't think anything was wrong?
I didn't think anything was wrong. I asked my aunt, oh, should he go out? We went out in the park, and then you just find like a jealousy or something. Asking me, I was having my phone and someone rang, and they asked me, who's trying to ring you? I said, no, it's one of my friends. And they said, oh, no, it can't be. And they just slapped me. I felt it was just normal. I didn't realize it was like a problem in the beginning. I just accepted.
So you didn't see that was already a sign of what was to come, right?
Yeah.
Probably he had a very controlling behavior, but you didn't see it back then as a sign. So that is one piece of important information right there, right? Lisa? People should not overlook even the smallest of signs of abuse,
yes,
right? Abusive behavior.
Especially earlier on. And previous to this, did you have many other relationships to go by on which you felt were, more accepting more normal behavior, or, was this quite shocking to you?
It just quite shocking to me. You just
just...
Never went through something like this before?
Never. Even
How
my
old
family.
were you back then? Were you very young?
I was very young. I was like 20.
20.
Not young, but
was he much older than you?
He was like 6 years older than me.
6 years, so not a huge...
Not a huge gap.
Age difference. And so you started dating him?
Yes.
It was in your country?
It was here.
Oh, it was already here?
Yeah, here in
okay.
this country.
And how did things progress? So eventually did you get married?
Eventually we get we did engagement party, and then I was happy to live with him. So we moved on. So we went I went to my house. We was, together. But when we was together, but all small thing, he just get crazy. He just get upset. And I didn't see that like a problem. I just see like, oh, it's normal.
Did you feel that you thought it was a sign of care? That's what
I was thinking. I said, maybe care about me. That's love. That's what I was thinking, that's the love. So I didn't see that like it's a problem.
Yeah, because that's many things in domestic violence relationships. The people do stay because they say, but they love me, they care.
Yeah, that's
they
what I was
show
thinking.
That affection.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but from the moment, right, that any kind of physical aggression, right, the verbal aggression is there, then Lisa, I think it's important that we tell viewers, right, that a line has to be drawn. And we have to communicate. Listen, this is not acceptable, right? Okay, it came to this point. I'll forgive you now, but please do not ever do this again. This has to be clear. It cannot be a very thin line. It has to be like a huge one. It will not be tolerated anymore because if people don't do that, which was the case of Nadege, of course, out of naiveness, things will get worse.
And it's like a child kind of pushing their boundaries, seeing what they can get away with, Essentially, they will push and push and push, And essentially it does, like the line does have to be drawn at the very beginning, as you said, because they have to know what they can and cannot get away with.
Was it your first serious relationship?
Yeah, it was the first serious relationship.
So you didn't
even my family, I never seen abuse, physical, never.
After that, the first week he tried to slap. Did he actually hit you?
He tried to slap me. I said, wow.
And after that, during that period of dating and everything, when you said he would get angry and snap at any little thing that he didn't like, what would he do? Things like what?
Things like sometimes he comes home, he asks you, oh, where did you went? I explained to you, I went because I was working that time. When we I was living together, I get pregnant. I was pregnant for my firstborn, my daughter. So he's asking, where did you went? I said, no, I went to do some shopping. And even in my bank card, you have to check my bank card, even the money, even to have my own money, you have to take all my card, everything. So he's like controlling me for everything. Everything, because before I was independent, and I was studying, I was going like a weekend, I was going to work. So since I met him, I couldn't do nothing. I was scared.
What did he want you to do? Like to stay in the house?
Just to stay in the house.
Take care of the children?
Take care,
And nothing else. So,
nothing.
So evidently, we see that this is a twisted kind of love, right? Because love, the true love, is based on self-respect, mutual respect. You want to see the other person happy. The true love does not involve oppression. That was an oppression.
Yeah, it was.
What were the reasons why, which he gave you as to why he would hit you, or did he give you a reason for, or to justify?
I didn't even realize. Sometimes he's happy, and then that second he just get upset for no reason. I couldn't understand.
So he had these mood swings.
Yeah.
Okay, now you were together with him, you had your child. How did it progress to the point where you even have scars here to show that it got real bad?
It got really bad because even in my family, he wasn't polite in my auntie. He answered really badly. Everything was just mess. Everything, even inside the house, sometimes he go out, he come back late, I have to ask him. If I ask him, he's like again, no, don't ask me. So, and I get pregnant for my second child. When I get pregnant, it was like, even though when I was pregnant, he even beat me up. Instead of even say to my family, I didn't even say nothing. I was just keep quiet. Everything I was keeping inside of me.
So he knew you were pregnant?
Yeah.
And still hitting you?
He's hitting me.
But you never reported?
I'd never report even in my family.
very. This is something, Nadege, and also Lisa can make a comment on this, that I have seen. It's like a pattern sometimes for some women who are abused, that they sometimes even think that it's their fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably thought to some extent you were made to believe you deserved it.
Yeah, I deserved that. I was thinking, no, I deserve this life.
How was your self-confidence? Was he telling you, how you should feel?
Yeah, I was feeling down, feeling sad. Even to look after myself, I couldn't even do nothing about myself. I was really
But it
down.
didn't occur to you to report or to tell him that you wouldn't accept that anymore. You wouldn't do that.
No.
It was a very passive behavior also from your part. And you would. Why were you accepting all this, Nadege?
I don't know. I was just feeling like if I report it, he's gonna do something bad to me. Or if I report to my family, we're gonna be separate. I didn't want to be separate. That's the problem. Yeah.
So you were believing that things
because
could
I've
still...
kid with him, so I said no. Let me protect my kid, and that's not the way.
You wanted to fight for your family.
Yeah.
You wanted to fight for your marriage too. And at the same time, afraid that if you try to do something, you can make matters worse for yourself and for your children, right? But I know that at some point, things changed, right? Before we come to that point, just before we go to the break, and by the way, I would like the phone number to keep on appearing because you're going through problems now. Maybe it's not domestic violence, but at this point of night, you are desperate. You don't know what else to do. You are there smoking, one cigarette after another because the anxiety is just overbearing. And it's like you feel that you are a time bomb about to hit zero on the clock and you are about to explode. Talk to someone, get help, call this number now. It's not a coincidence you're watching this show because God is reaching out to you. He wants to help you. All you need to do is to take this help, okay? Be courageous. Give us a call right now if you want, okay? When was it that the mark on your forehead was, did he throw something at you? Did he hit you? What was?
He hit me. It was in the morning, Friday morning, in the morning, 7 in the morning. He was going to work. I asked him, did you plan something?
Sorry, you said Friday? 7 o'clock in the
Yeah, it was early morning,
My
Friday.
goodness, if you're starting your day like this,
it was on Friday.
how the rest of the day would go, sorry. And what happened at that Friday?
I asked him, are you gonna plan to buy, I think shopping or something? I said, no, I don't have money, don't ask me for that. And then he was going to the bathroom, and then I went to the bathroom and he just came and, in the toilet, in the sink, he just put my head, banged my head in the sink, in the toilet sink, so half deep. I was bleeding. It was terrible. So it was so deep I had to go there to call the ambulance. He had to call the ambulance. Even said to me, don't report to the police. Otherwise, I'm gonna go to the prison.
After each incident, was he very apologetic? Or
after that, because the blood was everywhere, even my daughter, they was sleeping, they heard I was screaming. So they wake up, they say, don't call the police, otherwise, for sake of the children, don't call the police.
Did he apologize?
He just called the ambulance. He just
didn't apologize. He was just
apologize. No.
Okay, so in the next segment, you're going to tell us what was because at some point things had to change, right? You came out of this relationship.
Yeah, came out.
And that's the main point we wanted to discuss tonight. How you muster the courage to do what you have done. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
So, maybe you're thinking about making some big changes or setting some ambitious goals for yourself. Maybe you want to lose 20 pounds or read through the Bible. Maybe you want to run a marathon or repair a broken relationship. Whatever your big goal is, the temptation is to expect to go straight from here to here, or from here to here. The reality is, there are a lot of small steps between big decisions and big results. Challenges and obstacles await. At some point, you might even want to quit. But stand firm. Don't be disappointed with slow progress. Don't be overwhelmed by the destination. Rather, focus on what you can do today. Skip dessert. Read a chapter. Go for a run. Make a phone call. The more difficult the journey, the more rewarding the destination. And it can all start today with just one small step.
The pursuit of happiness. What will make you happy? Success? Fame? New shoes? Financial security? Love? Education? Independence? Family? Sometimes in the pursuit of things we think will bring us happiness, sometimes we fail to see that we aren't happy, or we never find it. We live in a world of people. Rather than pursue things to make you happy, what if we all worked to make each other happy? Wouldn't we all be happier?
Come on, spin me around now, I don't wanna go home. 'Cause when you hold me like this, you know my heart skips a beat. I know I should, but I can't leave it alone. And when you hold me like this, that's when my heart skips a beat. You gotta love this, man.
So my life before coming to God was a complete and utter mess. I didn't have any directions, I had no role models. I was just under the influence of friends and alcohol and marijuana and pornography. Like I just into everything that the world was in. I couldn't let go of it. I didn't want to let go of it. I really enjoyed it. But when I would go to sleep, you know, when I had time for myself, or when there wasn't any music playing or anything like that, I could really think, and that's when I'd realize what a mess I was and how empty I was, and you know, I could see where I was going, and it just wasn't the route I wanted to take, but I just couldn't let go of it. I didn't know how to go any other way. And that's when I realized, like, wow, this is really bad. So when I came to God, I saw other people my age, even younger, who were going through life and they were really getting at things, you know, they were finding the jobs that they wanted, they had happiness inside, you know, they were controlled, they were mature, they had discipline, and I didn't have any of those things, and it really made me upset. And so through their help and sort of just giving my life to God and just really and truly wanting to accept His corrections and take on board His guidance, you know, no sex before marriage, you know, taking away the addictions. I didn't want to do this, but I saw, you know, no one else is doing anything different, and no one else is getting any different results. So that's what I wanted to do, and I just took it all on board. And as hard as it was, and it's not easy, it's not attractive at first, but then you sort of start to see the positive results, and that just gives you a kickstart to go forward, and that's what happened to me. Today it's completely transformed. My mindset, which I think is the most important thing, is completely been sort of renovated and just done over. I'm not just, you know, I just don't go to church for a hobby or just something to do on a Sunday. It's really to change my mind and to make me think different. You know, I've opened my vision. I want to do things even bigger than I've ever thought I could. You know, there's no more financial crisis in my life. You know, I know what I want to do. I'm happier to deal with my family. Like before, I would just shut them off 100%. Like I didn't know how to be kind to them. But now, you know, I'm getting better at just dealing with everybody and just being happier to be with people. And when I'm by myself, you know, there's no loneliness, there's no depression. Like I'm really excited about life and just wanting to go forth with things, yeah.
Welcome back to Finding Answers. You just saw the story of Gustavo and how faith helped him overcome his problems. Now back with Nadege. Mm-hmm. So how was it, Nadege, that you connected with faith, and how did faith help you overcome the issue with domestic violence?
Because I've been invited to the Christian place. I came, so they said to me about you have to look after yourself. So I was able to look after myself to see, I have to be happy. I cannot stay in that relationship. So, and I work on that. So they helped me to advise me, you cannot stay in, you know, if someone is abusing, you cannot accept it. So I reject all those things. It's really helped me, and I forgive them, the men, because we are not together anymore. It's been like 4.5 years. We've been separate. So I've got my 2 daughters. I forgive him. First of all, I forgive him. I let go for everything, all those feelings. I was feeling inside of my heart.
You know, and someone can be saying here, oh, how could she, you know, forgive someone who has done such a terrible thing? But actually, forgiveness is great, especially to the one who is forgiving. Because if we don't forgive, we're not hurting the other person. I mean, we may, but we are hurting ourselves much more, right? Not forgiving is very complicated because you have to remind yourself that you're angry. You have to remind yourself, oh, I have to be bitter with this person. I have to remember what they've done against me. So
especially
it takes so much
when you
work.
got this mark in your face, you're just thinking about.
Yeah, you know, and but when you forgive, it's like letting go of this dead weight, right? All this baggage we don't have to carry. So forgiveness is a good thing. You decided to forgive.
I decided to forgive.
But you also had to get the strength and the courage to finally step out of this relationship, right? Which you did.
Yes, I did,
And you were mentioning here to us off camera that you even had to report.
I have to report to the police.
Even with fear?
Yeah, even with fear, I have to report. Even I called one of my cousins to help me because by myself I couldn't do it, but I said, I have to do it. So I report to the police, they came, they say, you have to be out of the house. So they arranged everything to come to arrest him. So they arrest him, they said to him to be out. So he's in the prison. So he was in the prison, so we had to go to the court, the process of, to take him like in the prison. But they said to me, you didn't have enough evidence to go to court. I said, you know what, I'm gonna leave because I know God is God of justice. I know who I'm believing now, so I just leave it.
I congratulate you for the courage to do the right thing, to stop the abuse, to do what you had to do, because now you're free.
Yeah, I'm free, I'm happy, I'm looking forward for another relationship.
Your children are not witnessing that torment anymore.
No.
Right?
No.
They are happy.
They are happy.
I know them too.
We are happy, we have peace inside of us. I even strong to do more without him.
So you have peace now, no more fear.
No more fear inside of my house.
No more hurting,
no more
right?
hurting.
Yourself, no. And you said that everything began when you went to this Christian place to learn about faith, and you were encouraged to be happy, to look after your happiness, that you deserved better, right?
Yeah.
This is the message. God says this to you. You deserve better than to settle for an abusive relationship. Okay, so all we said here, we're not judging the man who did it to her. Evidently, he has his issues, but it's something he has to work. But you worked on your own, right? No more bowing down to these situations. So this is it, right? Sometimes what I've seen is that people keep postponing their decision. They keep imagining these scenarios. Oh, but what if I take this decision and then everything gets worse and I can get hurt and he can get angrier and what about the children? So we keep waiting, we just keep postponing, we keep just expecting that something is going to happen, but more often than not, by the time we are finally forced to do something, because there's a time when it can't be hidden no more, the damage is already done. And there's so much emotional hurt, physical hurt, trauma, so many issues that could have been avoided if action was taken earlier. So when it comes to domestic violence, when it comes to constant abuse, we would say the sooner you start taking action, the better. Do not be afraid. There's help available, and also count on God's help. He will not let you down. He will not forsake you. He will not leave you unprotected if you go to Him. Once again, very soon we are going to be doing a prayer on your behalf. You can call 0207-686-6300 and speak to one of our advisors right now. Okay, I want to thank Nadege, okay, for coming, sharing your story, okay, and showing everyone that despite of all this turmoil, you can still become someone happy, right?
I'm happy.
You are not in a relationship right now.
No.
But you're not closed to having one. You're not, you're not like, oh, I'll never, ever have a relationship again. That's not your mindset.
No.
Right? If you find the right person, you would be happily. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the evidence right there. When you overcome the issue, it's overcome for good. I remember what Jesus said. If the Son sets you free, you are free indeed. And it was through the power of Jesus that you were set free.
Yeah.
Very good. So also, in good time, if you want to watch previous episodes of Finding Answers, find us via our YouTube channel. Just browse Finding Answers on YouTube. You can find previous episodes uploaded there. We do that periodically. Connect to us also via Facebook. Give us a like on Facebook page. And you can visit our website. There's many ways you can connect to Finding Answers, okay, and be up to date with what's going on. After the break, Pastor Ade is joining us on the discussion, so don't go anywhere.
This is your UCKG timetable. We are open 7 days a week, helping you to make a new beginning. Monday, a meeting focused on achieving more in your financial life. Tuesday, prayers for healing. Wednesday, a meeting teaching you to develop in your spiritual life. Thursday, a special prayer for the family. Friday, a service for your spiritual deliverance. Saturday, Find the One, a service specifically tailored for your love life. Sunday, Reconnect with God, the main meeting for your spiritual strength.
Uplifting.
Exciting.
Diverse.
Informative.
Courageous.
Bold.
Passionate. Powerful.
Follow My Channel's updates on Facebook. Like your favourite videos and see pictures of your favourite artists. Access our Twitter @MyChannelUK and get to know what's on with My Channel. Visit tvmychannel.com and be connected to our world. My Channel, a whole new world of entertainment.
I grew up with a lot of internal issues because I used to see my dad abusing my mum.
It was a very difficult thing for me to see at such a young age. It affected me deeply. I grew up with low self-esteem, and I used to look for ways to fill that void that I had inside of me through being with the wrong kinds of people. I didn't know how to say no. I felt like I didn't know who I was, and I had a lot of anger towards my dad for what he had done. So I refused to see him, I refused to speak to him, and I felt very empty inside. I really searched for ways to try and to fill this emptiness, but nothing worked. I felt unsatisfied. The worst moment was when I almost ended up getting into a situation where I almost lost my virginity, but not because I liked being with the person, but because I didn't know how to say no, because I didn't have any control over myself. I felt like I was just led by people. So when I got into that situation, it really scared me, because I thought, what more can happen if I have no control over myself? I don't know how to say no to people. I was a people pleaser. It was when I decided that I'd had enough, when I got to a point where I'd literally had enough of being the way that I was. I'd had enough of feeling down and empty and sad. I'd had enough of being led by people and not having control over myself. And it was when I developed my faith in God and the steps that I was taught, and I learned to grow, to know myself, to know who I was. It was then that I took those steps to change, and I did an 180-degree turn on like the people who were bad influence on me. I said no to the way that I was. I determined that I would be a new person, I would be a different person, and I took steps towards that. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it, and I'm really happy with the person that I am today. I'm completely different. That void that I had, it's been filled, and I'm so much more happy. I forgave my dad. We rebuilt our relationship. My family is complete, even though I came from a broken home, but I don't feel like I came from a broken home. I'm now happily married. I surround myself with people who are like-minded, so I know where I'm going, I'm focused, and I'm happy with life.
So one thing that gets my attention in Michelle's story that you just watched, that's just that at some point I had to get fed up with the situation. It has a lot to do with the faith we talk about in finding answers, because at some point you have to get fed up. You have to get angry. It's okay to get angry, but instead of doing something negative with your anger, channel it towards doing something positive. Take positive action to say no more to your problems. Pastor Ade is with us this evening. Good evening, Pastor Ade.
Good evening, Pastor Edward.
You know, we call it the point of enough.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Michelle has come to her point of enough and said, no more of this. And when people come to this point, they bring themselves to this point, then they actually do something positive with it. Because if we just wait for the situation to be fixed by itself, more often than not, we are going to be taken by the situation to the point of enough. Then the outcome is very different.
Exactly.
Right? The damage is done, the trauma is there, where we can fast forward ourselves to that point of enough and say, enough of this. I'm cutting this problem by the root now, and then see a much better outcome.
Exactly. Today's subject is quite a serious one, sensitive as well. And when we bring it to the faith aspects, God always shows to us through His Word how we should never accept problems like this, especially problems that can affect the inside of a person. The Bible says that if we resist evil, evil will flee. So problems like this is not something that we need to accept, especially problems that can affect the faith that we have inside. Mm-hmm. So, of course, anyone who's going through this, they should find physical support as well. But of course, they should seek for spiritual help as well. Right. For them to, be able to, find the strength, because it can cause problems on the inside, although they may seek for help on the outside. Mm-hmm. But confidence-wise, not believing in themselves, these are all spiritual roots. And when we find people who are like this, it's hard for them to manifest faith. So, you know, I really believe that people really need to fight this problem back, spiritually speaking.
Absolutely. Which was the kind of help that Nadege has received.
Exactly,
because, of course, she reported him to the police, which is the right course of action to those who are going through this form of violence, right? We cannot overlook it. But at the same time, it was not only that, finding spiritual support in God.
Yeah.
You know, we have to say this here. God welcomes you when you have problems, right?
Yeah.
God welcomes people with problems. People shouldn't say, oh, you know, look at the way my life is. I messed up badly. How could God even be listening to me? No, no. Actually, the worse the case is, it's more exciting for God, because He loves, you know, to prove us wrong in that sense.
Exactly.
Those who think that there's no way for them, God shows there is a way.
Exactly. And, you know, this is how, in fact, God is actually, we can even say, glorified. Taking a person's life that was messed up in the gutter, people who usually go through problems as Nadege went through, they're probably, you know, they themselves feel despised, you know, probably looked aside. And what tends to happen is that these type of people have no direction in life. But with God, He makes everything possible in the life of the person. The person starts to shine all over again. What was lost becomes restored, and God is capable of this.
You know, this is just too strong, because it says there in God's word, He says, God chooses the weak.
Exactly. That's powerful. That's powerful.
To confound those who think that they are strong without God. He chooses the simple to confound the wise, those who are wise in their own eyes. He chooses the things that are not, you know, to abase those who think that they are something special without God. So if you feel rejected, if you feel that you're nothing, if you feel weak, God has chosen you, as Pastor Ed said, to glorify His name in your life, but not through the situation as it is, but by you coming to Him, learning how to use faith, seeing a total change in your life, and then glorifying God as Nadege is here tonight. Do you believe in it? Do you want that to happen? It can start now with a prayer, sincere one being done on your behalf. Grab a glass with water. Let us join faith. It's the moment of prayer.
Prepare now for the moment of prayer. If you would like us to make a prayer for your health and general well-being, send your name and prayer request to help@findinganswers.tv.
My Lord and my Father, here we are, and it's another special moment because we've witnessed a powerful testimony here tonight. Nadege is an example of what a living faith can do, Lord. She went through so much, but was able to come out of it, change her life around, and today she's a living proof that when faith is applied, all things are possible. So I pray right now for whoever may be watching, maybe have gone through something similar or maybe going through something similar. Lord, we ask that your power may help this person. Let your power work in the life of this person. My Lord, show to this person that you are there. Your arms are open wide to receive them. I pray, my Father, that from tonight on, their faith may be restored, confidence may be restored, and that they can see a bright future, my Lord. We thank you for this moment because we know that this simple prayer is already changing many people's lives. I bless this water right now, and I'm determined that this water represents you. When it's drank, Lord, your power will reveal itself upon each and every person in the name of Jesus. Amen.
This is it. Believe in the prayer you received. Connect with us. This is it from us tonight. Do not forget to tune in tomorrow at the same time, same station for another edition of Finding Answers. Have a wonderful night. God bless. Bye-bye.